Our next story is from Pakistan, South Asia's most fiscally unstable nation. Pakistan is hosting a very special guest today, a guest that their Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif considers a brother. No, the leader is not from China, not Saudi Arabia either. No, not the UAE. Okay, so Shehbaz Sharif has a lot of credit cards. I mean, brothers. But this one is very special, really. It's Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Erdogan landed in Rawalpindi last night. He was greeted by Prime Minister Sharif and Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari. It was a grand welcome. And it continued today. There was a guard of honor, a ceremonial tree planting, a fighter jet salute with F-16s, and even a meeting with Pakistan's real leader, the Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir. But the thing that takes the cake might be this: a song prepared by the Pakistani government in praise of Erdogan. Priceless. You can't fake flattery like that. Islamabad must have been hoping for something truly game-changing in return. Once all the elaborate greetings were out of the way, Erdogan and Sharif got to business. They signed 24 agreements. They covered a range of sectors. Pakistan wants to increase bilateral trade with Turkey from the current 1 billion to 5. There are also reports of cooperation in Syria. You know that Bashar al-Assad's government fell last December thanks to Turkey-backed rebel groups. Turkey will be involved in rebuilding Syria, and Pakistan wants a slice of that business as well. And then we come to defense. Turkey is already Pakistan's second largest arms supplier. 11% of Pakistan's defense imports come from Turkey. They also have joint projects, including on warships and even stealth fighters. Pakistan and Turkey are collaborating on Turkish Khan fighter jets. They're set to build a joint factory for it. And of course, when it comes to Turkey and defense, there's always talk about drones. Pakistan already operates Turkish drones, both the Bayraktar TB2 and the Akinci. As you can see, Turkey-Pakistan military ties run deep, so don't be surprised if they get deeper. However, all this is annoying, if not bad news for India, because Erdogan is one of the few leaders who keeps trying to butt into the Kashmir issue. Most countries keep out of it. They recognize that Kashmir is a bilateral issue exclusively between India and Pakistan. Pakistan does not like this fact. It keeps trying to encourage world leaders to interfere, and Erdogan is one of the few that takes the bait every time. Shehbaz Sharif thanked Erdogan for this today, showering him with praise for his quote-unquote unwavering support after talking about Kashmir. Without batting an eyelid, Sharif moved on to talking about Pakistan fighting terrorism. You can't make this up, like I said. Sharif spoke about the menace of terrorism, lamenting all the lives lost. How can someone be so tone deaf? Pakistan keeps sponsoring terrorism in Kashmir. It is the reason for thousands of lives lost. But Shehbaz Sharif is calling Pakistan a victim of terrorism. The only reason it is a victim is because it bred those terrorists in the first place. Now, Islamabad is upset because it has lost control over its weapons. The hypocrisy is unbelievable, but sadly, it was to be expected. Erdogan is not going to correct Shehbaz Sharif. He has weapons to sell. And we know one thing. When the people are starving, Pakistan will always opt to buy weapons over wheat. We're calling this show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. City measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.